is doing so well. What is that Vietnam is doing in terms of advancing technology, advancing their economic development, bringing in so many actors together is something that we can learn from each other. How Cuba's health program is doing now, what kind of development assistance and technology Cuba is giving. Mauritius is providing leadership in finance and financial architecture as a hub for Africa. What is it that they are doing? I met your lady president who was a scientist herself. So before she became president, I had met her. She had invited me to a workshop on usage of ocean-based plants for cosmetics. And she was a scientist working with some of the L'Oreal, the French company, for cosmetics, and she identified several plants that can be leveraged for production of cosmetic products. And I attended some of that workshop. Madagascar is also doing with Mauritius that kind of idea. So this is something which is about domestic capacity. It is about intrinsic ability of the system that we have. So these are the two sort of reports that we have. There might be one more, but these two reports are output of your participants earlier on science diplomacy that is there. Amit would have these copies, you can access it, you can see them, and also contribute in terms of identifying what are the possibilities of each one of you to contribute. So this is about every one of us. It is not just about we lecturing and you listening and going back. No. It is about exchange of information. It is about exchange of our experiences. It is about our partnership. Just to close, there are these various parameters that I have mentioned here. The idea is mostly in terms of how the evidence-based analysis is possible. So South-South cooperation debates are maturing now. They are going out of the political assertion in the UN platform. They are getting into the platform of explaining the idea of South-South cooperation from the perspective of collecting evidence and analyzing them. And these developments are largely in terms of cooperation. One example I give and I close is from the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. When they were negotiated, one proposal that India and Brazil gave together was of establishment of Technology Facilitation Mechanism, TFM. So TFM was a platform that was suggested for enabling countries to implement SDGs. And this dimension was to create a platform to see how technologies can be done. And now, as Dr. Mitra explained to you, RIS is part of India's development project for implementation of Sustainable Development Goals and doing a road mapping. So as you know, under SDG there are 17 goals. So in each of these goals, what kind of technology is required to implement? Like for instance, goal 6 is about, goal 6 in SDG is about water. Yes, so in rural areas you require safe and clean water, because that's the basic that you can give to each one of our citizens. So access to clean water is their right and our obligation under SDG 6. So how you get clean water? And today, those of you who had some time to read newspaper might have seen in India how the patents battle are on for getting a technology for cleaning of water. So there are private companies which are competing with each other to have the technology, because India is such a big market, and in urban areas, in rural areas, we are not able to provide clean water. So what should be the way? So companies that have mastered the technology, they are the ones who are holding the market. So there is a competition going on. Our suggestion from RIS has been to make these technologies available free of cost to everybody, so that everybody has access to clean water. Now, the companies say we are ready to give the technology, but give us the compensation, because we have spent money. So who would give the compensation? So we said that at the global level, a fund should be established, all countries should contribute, and then they should buy out the technology and give it to everybody. This is the idea. there are certain technologies that have also been developed by the Indian Space and Research Organization or DRDO, couple of other organizations which have delivered this. So that dimension is extremely important. TFM from that point of view is important. There are a lot of issues, and I'm sure it will be covered in the days to come as you will be talking about it. There are multilateral sort of initiatives that are there, the structures that are there in terms of new indicators that are needed to be explained. The task team of the United Nations is actually at work. There are, as I said, after the G20 meeting in Osaka last year, it was decided that there will be a global project managed by World Bank to lead the countries that are part of this pilot phase, in which Japan and EU are playing an important role, and we have countries like Ethiopia, we have Kenya, we have Ghana, we have India, and we have Serbia, which are part of this whole process of delivering the TFM and trying to see how it can become more successful. The idea is largely in terms of creation of the technology fund. As I said, it is about acquisition of technology wherever it is possible, and also its licensing and its commercialization. So I would stop here and would invite if there is any clarification to seek. Thank you.